City of Snyder employee is in the national spotlight, recognized for creating meaningful change in rural America. Barbara Leatherwood, Executive Director of the Development Corporation of Snyder, has been selected as the 2026 Honorable Mention recipient of the Jim Walton Community Impact Award. She was recognized at the Stand Up Rural America Summit in Florida last week. Leatherwood is the only person to receive the Honorable Mention from a nationwide pool of nominations. In recognition of the honor, a donation was given to a charity of her choice, and she has chosen His Joy Ministries, which supports widows and orphans in Uganda. We learned a lot about Snyder when we stopped there a few weeks ago as part of our annual community coverage tour.
We had a lot of fun.